The whispers are getting louder. You've heard them in Discord channels and seen the frantic posts online. Reprints are coming, or new distributors are being added. For some, this signals the end of the one-piece gold rush, a sign to liquidate before the floodgates open. To that, we say, relax. The idea that Bandai wouldn't reprint a set as monumental as OP13 is absurd. But here is the controversial take. Reprints are exactly what this market needs, and they won't crash your portfolio. Let's look at the facts. Carrying on his will, OP-13 has been smashing TCG records left and right, and not just within the One Piece ecosystem. We are talking about a set that defined the third anniversary, featuring the iconic Three Brothers and some of the most sought-after manga rares in history. Why wouldn't Bandai reprint this set and more? It would be bad business not to. The demand for One Piece products has been proven, and the market has screamed for more supply. Bandai is a business, and they are going to cash in on that fact. Expecting them to keep the printers off is betting against capitalism itself. Here is the reason I'm not worried about reprints. I don't buy at the top. Whenever we buy sealed product, I never like to follow up with the FOMO. I like to get a good price and sit on it. When a box, even a titan like OP13, hits $300, more than 2 times its MSRP, the rocket has already taken off. At that point, I personally stay out. I either miss out on the set entirely or hope and wait for it to come back down to accumulate. If reprints happen, they don't destroy my position. They give me a second chance to enter. The biggest misconception is that a reprint sends a box back to $100. In this market, that rarely happens for top-tier sets. Even with reprinted sets, there is a new overall floor and demand that prevents it from getting below a certain amount. Take OP13, for example. Even with multiple reprint waves, it would be incredibly hard to get this box under the $300 mark again, and even harder to get it under $200. Why? Because at $200, who wouldn't buy this set? The market works on perceived value. When supply becomes available, the price only drops to what people are willing to pay, and right now, that buy price is far above MSRP. Another factor to consider is how far Bandai will actually go back. Reprints of OP14 back to OP09 make perfect sense. These are still relatively new sets in the grand scheme of the game's lifecycle. Seeing these back on shelves shouldn't worry anyone. It keeps the game alive for players and keeps the blood pumping in the ecosystem. This is healthy churn, not market saturation. The real fear stems from the older era, OP01 through OP05. Investors worry Bandai might go back to its old ways and flood the market with these holy grails, mirroring issues seen in other TCGs. But, even in this scenario, I see the new floor theory holding strong. Ask yourself, who wouldn't buy OP05 if they had the chance again? If Awakening of the New Era dropped tomorrow, it would vanish instantly. The sheer demand for the Gear 5 Luffy hunt creates a price memory that prevents a total crash. We also need to look at logistics. Can Bandai even print to demand? This isn't Pokemon. Pokemon prints at massive capacity and still can't always satiate demand, so much so that they constantly have to expand facilities. Bandai, on the other hand, is juggling multiple thriving TCGs. They have Dragon Ball and Gundam on the rise. We can assume it is difficult to overprint One Piece when you are fighting a war on multiple fronts with your own production lines. Even if they want to flood the market, it becomes a question of could they instead of would they. We are in a new era of TCGs. You not only have players, collectors, and fans, but now individual and groups of investors pouring money into collectibles like this. In this environment, multiple large reprints will get eaten up just as quickly as they are printed. Big money accounts are waiting on the sidelines for dip buying opportunities. More product just makes for more opportunities for profit, which is exactly what the whales want. Liquidity is good for the market. It allows volume to move and prices to stabilize at healthy, higher highs. Don't be the liquidity for someone else's exit or entry. There is a reason panic spreads so fast on social media. It's profitable. The smart money often fans the flames of fear because they want you to sell your portfolio at a discount. They need the price to drop so they can scoop up your OP13 and OP05 boxes at the lowest possible floor before the inevitable bounce. That short-term noise you see screaming about crashes, that is a buy signal for the whales. Don't hand over your hard-earned assets for cheap, just because someone scared you into pressing the sell button. Overall, with a long-term hold strategy, the worst reprints could do is allow you an opportunity to average down or average up to accumulate more products. If you believe in the IP and the game, a reprint is a gift, not a curse. A reminder, this is just a hypothesis, but it brings valid points. Stay calm, watch the floors, and be ready to scoop up value if the panic sellers give you the chance. If you like this video, consider subscribing or joining our daily free newsletter at tcjplayer.com.